is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Welcome to the MorganMan Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Stacy Cole Morgan. Here on the MorganMan Sports Podcast, we talk Atlanta Falcons news, pre-game predictions, and all other news surrounding the Atlanta Falcons.
Touchdown, Atlanta!
Also on the podcast, we talk Call of Duty League, esports, covering Roster Mania, major predictions, COD champs, player trades, and much more to get you ready for every single CDL weekend.
Scuff goes through, and Scuff snaps, wins the one-on-one in optic with the reverse sweep.
If that sounds good with you, put on your Falcons jersey, grab your gaming headset, and let's get this show started. What is going on, you guys? I'm your host, Stacy Cole Morgan, and you are listening to the MorganMan Sports Podcast here on Spotify, Google Podcasts, GoodPod HQ, or wherever you find your preferred podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting straight into things right here, talking about the Atlanta Falcons hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers this Sunday in the Bend, September 8th at 1 p.m. Eastern. Guys, the excitement is in the air. We are finally talking football again for the next 18 weeks, possibly 19, 20, and 21, on and so forth into the Super Bowl. Hopefully, Super Bowl winning season right here for the Atlanta Falcons. As fans always should predict that their team is going to go to the Super Bowl. Every team should support their team, or every fan should support their team like that. That is what this fan base is definitely missing, that there's not a lot of optimism going forward in this season, but in past seasons as well. And rightfully so. I can't understand where people are coming from. Well, we had just, a suck-ass coach for the past, 3 to 6, 7 years outside of that Super Bowl window that we had in 2016. But I think this is different. I think this is totally different. Again, like I've said before during our off season, Raheem Morris, I believe, has learned from his past mistakes. He's been around now with Super Bowl winning coaches and has learned and evaluated what they did right and what they did wrong. And he's going to implement that into his own coaching strategy. And he's going to bring a good staff with him. Eric Robinson, the OC, I forget the defense coordinator's name. I really do, right off the top of my head. I just don't remember. But this is a good coaching staff. It really is. Eric Robinson, you can say what you want to about the preseason, but Robinson knows not to open up that damn playbook. And if he does, it's page 1, and that's it. You're going to see very simple, just vanilla plays throughout the preseason. And the same goes on defense. You're not going to see just spectacular plays that you would run on like a West Coast offense. Because this is what this Atlanta Falcons team is going to start running. It's West Coast offense. Eric Robinson knows it best. He came from the Sean McVay system, and he's going to implement it. And that's what we've been missing since Kyle Shanahan during that Super Bowl season. With a great quarterback behind the helm, a.k.a. Kirk Cousins, wide receivers and Drake London. I forget a lot of the names now. I mean, so many new faces, ladies and gentlemen. But Kyle Pitts, which I'll be getting to Kyle Pitts here in a second. And then, of course, the running back room, Bijan, Tyler Algier. I mean, this is a stacked offense with scary weapons. And then, of course, on defense, you got Grady Jarrett returning. He's hungry, dude. Very hungry. I think this is his 10th season with the Atlanta Falcons, or 9th season. I could be wrong on one of those numbers. But AJ Terrell got that massive extensive corner. Jesse Bates, and of course, you got the two biggest free agent signings on defense. Guys, this is a setup for near about a perfect season for the Atlanta Falcons to make a deep playoff run and win the Super Bowl. But that's if the chips fall right into our place. We got to do our part, and when I say like the Atlanta Falcons, they got to do their part of winning each and every single Sunday. Enough with the hype, motivational, whatever for the Atlanta Falcons. Let's talk about their week 1 matchup. So it is this Sunday in 2 days from the time of this podcast, Sunday, September 8th at 1 p.m. Eastern in Mercedes Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. If you are in the Georgia area and kind of like parts of the East Coast right here, you will be getting it on Fox 5 Atlanta. So, of course, both teams come in 0-0. Season kickoff right here. Pittsburgh is a 3-point underdog at Mercedes Benz Stadium, while the Falcons are a 3-point favorite. Your game odds for the spread. The public bet is sitting at a 73% with Pittsburgh at the +3, while Atlanta is a 27% public bet at the -3. Money line is a +143 with a 25% public bet for Pittsburgh, and Atlanta is a -170 with a 75% chance of covering that money line. Total over and under is 42, and the public bet is sitting at 87% on the over. So if you are predicting that this game is going to go above 42 points, you could be in for a treat right there. So I do like that percentage right there. So I will cover this right here, but it will be more kind of accurate for week 2 whenever I talk about the Philadelphia Eagles hosting the Atlanta Falcons on Monday Night Football. But we will talk about the Falcons defense versus the Steelers offense. So this is kind of going off of preseason records and kind of like last season, just a little bit right here. But the Pittsburgh offense is 25th overall in the National Football League, while the Falcons defense is 11th in total defense. Passing, the Atlanta Falcons are 7th, while the Steelers offense is 27th. And passing for rushing, and this is going to be kind of an even out matchup right here, but the Falcons are 20th against the run, while the Steelers are 13th while running the ball. Flip the ball around, Falcons offense versus the Steelers defense. So overall, the Falcons offense is 17th overall in the National Football League, while the Steelers defense is 21st. For passing, 18th overall, and defense for Pittsburgh, while the Falcons offense and passing is 22nd. And for running the ball, the Falcons are the 9th best run football team, while the Steelers are 19th against protecting the run. So this is going to be a priority for Raheem Morris and Eric Robinson. Get your playmakers the ball early. That's the key to winning this game. You really want to get Kyle Pitts involved early. And speaking of him, he does have a little bit of a hamstring injury going on right now. And that don't concern me a lot, but if he were to aggravate it during this game right here, he could be out for the rest of the season. Or halfway through the season, it don't matter. If he aggravates it, that is going to put some serious wear and tear. And that means it's going to have to be next man up. And the next man up could not be the best option. Who knows? So we'll have to wait and see on that one right there. But again, the keys to this game is getting those star players the ball early. Drake London, he's projected to have a breakout year. Bijan, he's obviously going to do Bijan things. And going to that running back option for Tyler Algier as well. I think Arthur Smith, whenever it came to that run game last season, or well, during his whole season actually, or 3 seasons as head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, definitely did not use Tyler Algier that much. I mean, yeah, of course, Tyler did have that 1,000-yard season, I think his rookie year. But when Bijan came, it's like Tyler just disappeared. He was nowhere to be found on that football field. It was all Bijan. And by all means, when you put a, 4th overall pick on a running back, his ass better be out on that football field. I am here to tell you. But when you had Tyler Algier doing just near about as much as Bijan, I'd swap him out every single play. Like, let them catch their breath and, rest up, kind of figure out the formation, what's going on, and just do it. Because that defense is not going to be able to, like, all right, we got to keep changing plans every single series here. We just can't do it. And they're on one series, they're going to have to prepare for Tyler Algier mowing them down. Like, I mean, he is a freaking brick wall. He will stiff arm you and keep going into the house. Bijan, he's going to be quick on them knees and ankles, and he's going to get past you, and he's going to break yours in the process. So it's hard to stop that. It really is. And once you have a West Coast offense that Eric Robinson is bringing into Mercedes Benz every single Sunday, it's a scary offense. And then after that, Drake London. My God, dude, I'm telling you, I'm so freaking hyped right now. It is so unrealistically unimaginable how hyped I am right now. It really is. So, again, like I said, Kyle Pitts is out. Well, not out. He's questionable for week 1. But again, I don't think this should be a concern. He is going to be ready for the season opener, but is he going to be 100%? That is the question leading into Sunday. And we'll see on that final Falcon report for the injury list of who's going to be sitting out for that game. If the Falcons think they have a shot at the playoffs this year, and they want to make sure that Kyle Pitts is definitely going to be ready, I hate to be the one to say it, but I'm going to, because I like being the first one to say it. I think you should sit Kyle Pitts out on this game. Yes, I know it's tearing his heart up right now to sit out week 1, especially going up against his former coach that drafted him his first season being the head coach. But I think it'd be better for long term. And if you think that you're going to make the playoffs, I say sit him out. Sit him out and let him rest that Achilles hamstring, whatever it was. Let's see here. Hamstring, sorry. So again, questionable week 1. I say just sit him out. Just sit him out and let him rest that hamstring up, because you want him 100% to go. And if we do make the playoffs, he's definitely going to be a target player that you're going to have to throw to. And all during training camp, it looked fantastic. Those Kirk to Kyle Pitt connection videos was just like, ugh. It was so much eye candy right there. I could not stop watching. Even though it was the same dang play every single time, it was such good eye candy. So guys, what is your predictions for this Sunday's game? Do you think the Atlanta Falcons are going to win this game? Or do you think the Steelers are going to upset this game for the Atlanta Falcons in this hype season that they got going on? Me personally, I think with all the woes going on right now for the Steelers and announcing Russell Wilson as QB1 as of right now, at least, I think the Falcons have a legitimate shot of winning this one 10 plus points. I'm going to say minimum 10 points, but if anything above that, like 2 touchdowns, I'm taking it, dude. Like, that's impressive for the Atlanta Falcons. And I don't think we've won a home opener since last season, actually, against the Packers, if I'm not mistaken, and they came to our house. So yeah, so that would be amazing right there, to especially get off to a great start winning against an AFC opponent. And then after that, next week, we got an NFC opponent. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will bring me to the next topic right here, which will be for next week. So next week, guys, we are going to have Jarrett Kim from the Corner Booth podcast. He will be, I won't be talking to him much, but he will be part of this podcast. So how I'm implementing it is these guys are going to pre-record a week ahead of time or 2 days, whatever. Send me the audio clip. I edit it in. And then, boom, there it is. He's going to talk about the stats on his end for the Eagles. I'm going to talk about my stats, everything. Or I'm just going to let the clip run, and then I'll start talking about why I think the Falcons will win against that match against the Eagles in primetime in Philly. I got some guests right now. Could be more, but it is what it is, and I'm thankful for these guys being a part of this football season with me at the Belly Up Sports Media Network. So guys, I've rambled and raved long enough, but my final score predictions, like I said, 10 plus points for the Atlanta Falcons. I will say right here, right now, that the Falcons could easily win this game 35-25. And that's my cat meowing if you hear her. But 35-25, Atlanta Falcons win week 1 in the Benz and then head off to Philly for Monday Night Football. But guys, I sure hope you did enjoy. If you did, make sure to like button wherever you are listening from, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you find your preferred podcasts. But until then, I, Cole Morgan, will catch you all later. Peace.
Thank you for listening to this Belly Up Sports Podcast Network product. Some said we go belly up, so we made it our name, and we're still here.